Somebody recently asked on the channel, Rob, what was the best Camino that you've walked? That's a really hard question, but I'll try and answer it, coming right up. So if you're new to the channel, let me preface answering this question, which was the best Camino, by saying I haven't walked that many. I've walked 4 different routes. I've walked the Frances 3 times, the Via de la Plata de Invierno, and out to Finisterre and Murcia. But it's a fair question, you know, which was the best? And whoever asked that question, you may not like the answer. They were all good. Now, how am I going to answer this? They were all good. Why? They were good in very different ways. I think each of the 4 routes that I've walked so far were very different. And I'm not going to try and describe each one in detail. What I'll do is actually I'll put a link up here. Towards the end of my last Camino, which covered 4 different routes, I actually made a video, which was the best one. And so I won't recap that. I'll put the link up here. You can have a look at it. But what makes a good Camino? I'd almost reverse that and say to you, if you're thinking about walking a Camino, what do you want from that Camino? And then I'll come back to answer it from my own perspective. Excuse me. How do they differ? People is probably one of the big things. On the more popular routes like the Frances, the Portuguese, the English, you get a lot more people, particularly during the high season. Not so many in winter, of course. You get a lot more people. It's a very different vibe, good and bad, depending what sort of personality you are. If you like to be very social, then you know Camino Frances is definitely like that. It can be a really great buzz, and I love that, but I think I'm over it. I think I enjoy more being on my own, like literally on my own, for days on end. See, the Camino's very different things for different people. I know people who go back time and time again on the Frances. They love the Frances, you know, they love all the places where they stay, and they love that whole social thing. I loved it first time around, second time around. But I think my joy of the Camino has changed a little bit over the years, and I probably enjoy more now the solitude and the quiet and the peace and all the rest of it, with little bits of catching up with other pilgrims. So, oh look, my all-time favourite, probably the Frances, because it has a fantastic vibe. But gee, all the others are a very close second, very, very close. And having said that, I don't think I could walk the Frances again from Saint-Jean to Santiago. It would just be too busy for me. I've kind of not grown out of, that's not the right term. I've kind of done that social thing and I loved it, but I prefer a more solitary Camino now. So that's pushing me towards more remote routes. So what am I thinking of next? Definitely the Mozarabe from the southeast, long, desolate. I love that. Possibly the Lana from the east coast. I thought about Le Puy for a while. Not sure about that. I think I'm really liking the sort of desolation of central Spain. Those big open landscapes, and you know, where you just walk for miles and miles and turn off. You know, it's like, really is that like that walking meditation, just the crunch of your feet along the track. So I do like those. So the best Camino for me, maybe I haven't found it yet, but they're all great. If I had to pick one, put me on the spot, I think I've said it, the Frances, although I wouldn't walk it again. I think one of the ones I'm still to walk is going to be the best one yet. And I think that brings in another aspect, in that I kind of promised myself that I won't walk a route that I've walked before. Why? Because I so enjoy that adventure and excitement of a new route, not knowing what's coming. You know, like the third time on the Frances, I was saying to Pat, oh, the next village has got a really good cafe. Not the first one, the second one. You know, it's like, no, I don't want that anymore. I want that sense of the unknown, you know. I wonder if there is a cafe in the next village. You know, oh, there isn't. That newness, that freshness, that's that sort of element of excitement. So I would always walk new routes. Which ones are we going to walk next? So Pat's coming with me, and we're going to do a hybrid. We're going to walk the Madrid because it's more remote. I don't want to be, you know, amongst crowds of pilgrims, and it will be the first more remote one that Pat has walked. So I think that would be really interesting for her. We're going to walk the last bit of the Sanabros, which I haven't walked before, which is very similar to the Invierno, I think. I am going to walk one I have walked before, because I'm going to take Pat out to Murcia, and we're going to walk back Murcia, Finisterre to Santiago, only because I think it's a really pretty route, and it's different in that there's a lot of walking along the coast, and there's some really cool places to stay, and there's some lovely seafood. So, and it's another short one that I can do with Pat. After that, yeah, Mozarabe, Lana, something like that, I think. So there's probably a couple I'm not going to walk, and this might cause a bit of upset. So if you've walked these, do please comment down below, because we get these sort of perceptions in our heads. You know, I look at all the different routes, and I think there are so many that I want to walk. And, you know, age isn't going to allow me to walk them all. So to a degree, I'm ticking off the ones I really want to do, and I'm kind of in the back of my mind thinking maybe that one I won't do. One is the Portuguese, which is the second most popular route. Why? Because it's popular. And from the research that I've done, tell me if I'm wrong, I think there's a lot of road walking, and particularly cobblestones. My feet just can't handle that. And I love Spain. And I'm just beginning to learn some very basic Spanish. So, yeah, that's maybe why the Portuguese doesn't appeal to me. Another one that doesn't appeal quite so much is the Norte. Again, a couple of reasons. One, that seems to be a lot of road walking, and I honestly just cannot handle that. And the other thing is, during sort of holiday periods, it gets very, very busy, so I'm told, particularly with local tourists. You know, if you go the sort of beachside towns and things like that. So again, it's the crowds, not really drawn to crowds. So there's a couple maybe that I won't walk. But anyway, thank you for asking the question. I'll put that link up there again. On my last trip out, 4 different routes. How did they differ, and which was the best one? So go and have a look at that link. And if you're new to the Camino, you're planning your first Camino, do have a look in the description down below, because I think below most of the videos now I've got a little list of kind of the most popular videos, or the most helpful videos that people have said were most helpful. So go and have a look at those. It's about blisters and what to pack and things like that. But thank you for the question. Kind of got me wondering a bit. Not much of an answer maybe, not quite the answer you were expecting, but thanks for asking it, and see you again soon. Bye for now.